Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for tuning in with me today. So in today's video, I am going to be doing something very exciting. I'm going to be unboxing the mystery box by Cosmic Brushes, aka Cosmic Beauty. I'm honestly not sure under which name they are going by because they tried to change their name to Cosmic Beauty. However, their official website still goes by Cosmic Brushes. I know they are trying to change their name, but I'm probably going to be calling them Cosmic Brushes throughout this video. So this mystery box was available to purchase a couple of days prior to Halloween this year, and it literally just arrived a couple of days ago, like 2 days ago. I have not even had a peek inside. It is still in its box. I did not get around like opening it up just yet, so I thought we're just gonna do that on camera today. Also, if you don't want to get spoiled, don't watch this video. If you want to order this and you don't want to see what's inside, honestly, do not watch this video because I'm going to be unboxing everything. I'm going to be trying this out on camera today. So if you don't want to keep the element of surprise, continue watching. Otherwise, yeah, don't. So before I'm going to be pulling the box into frame, I'm just going to give you a couple of details on the mystery box. You know, I don't really know what's inside, but this is what the official website says. So they were saying this is a limited pre-order. We will have the official launch for the remaining stock in November, limited to one per person. So they were basically saying general release towards the end of November. So this mystery box contains 7 full-sized brand new items, and this one is going to retail for around $90, this entire box. But I feel like that's a pretty okay price considering that there are 7 full-sized products in this box. So before I'm gonna grab the box and unpack it with you guys together, I wanted to kindly ask you though, if you do enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to ring the bell in order to get notified. And if you do want to know what else is on my face today, what products I used, I'm gonna be leaving that in my description box down below as well. So thank you so much for checking that description box out. But all right, so let's grab this massive box. And honestly, it's quite big. It's quite large. Let's move the mirror to the side here. Oh my gosh, can you see? This is the size of the box. So this is quite a large box. Gosh, this is taped up quite well. Ta-da! Look at the box. Wow, it's massive. And there are question marks on here. And obviously the dot of the question mark is the logo of the brand. That's kind of cool. Right here it does say Cosmic Beauty. So I do suppose they've changed the name to Cosmic Beauty. Ooh, what is all of this? Wow. But yeah, I'm gonna take everything out and then we can go through these things together. All right, so there are 3 different shades here with the cream blushes. So let's have a look at what these shades are. So let's unbox Heroine first. Ooh. Ooh, look at that packaging. Wow. Okay, so let's open this one up. Oh my gosh, stop! That is like literally one of my favorite colors ever. This is a beautiful popping purple. Like you can see that there is a lot of blue in this purple. And oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with these shades. I'm gonna tell you, this is one of these blush shades. A lot of people might look at that and be like, no way. But on my more like neutral leaning cool skin tone, this type of blush, oh, I cannot wait to try this one out. This looks incredible. I can't believe this was the first one that I opened up. Literally one of my favorite shades ever. Okay, let's open up the next one, which is Got Chills. Ooh, ooh, this is actually pretty. This is like a baby warm pink. I honestly thought it would be one of these like neon sort of like cool pinks, but no, this is a pretty warm pink. Really pretty. Also, I love the size of these. These are actually pretty large. There's actually 7.5 grams of product in one of them, which is quite a lot of product. All right, and then the last shade of the cream blushes is going to be the shade Days. Let's see. Ooh, oh my God. That is also so pretty. This is like more of like a movie type of like pinkish shade. If I love this formula, these 3 shades are stunning, like stunning. And we need to try one of them out. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I don't know which one we're gonna be trying out just yet. But these look amazing. Beautiful. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so let's move on to the Velvet Matte Lipsticks. So this is the shade Salem. And ooh, oh my gosh, stop. Cosmic brushes. This is like a warm brown shade. The next one is the shade Clarice, and Clarice is going to be, oh my gosh, a beige nude. Stop it. This collection thus far, it's just out of this world beautiful. This is, oh, I love these types of like nude shades. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm so impressed. We gotta try these out today. And then the last shade is going to be the shade Nancy. Ooh, this might be a little bit too deep. I'm not sure about the undertone here because it's really, really deep. And usually I don't really love a very deep lipstick, but I love the fact that we got like a light nude shade and then we got like a mid-tone brown shade and a deep shade. So there's enough variety for everyone. But you know what I'm most excited for? This eyeshadow palette. So this eyeshadow palette, I cannot wait, you guys. I honestly cannot wait. So let's remove the outer sort of packaging. I mean, it's called Sinister. This was a Halloween release. So I do assume it could be, just judging by the packaging, I would assume this is deep, dark, smoky, maybe some red in there. Something new for Cosmic Brushes, Cosmic Beauty. 20 shades. I'm gonna open it up right now. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Yeah, wow. This looks beautiful. I mean, the bottom row was kind of what I thought it would be, but I did not expect all of these beautiful, like mauvey, purpley shades, and then also these silvery shades. And excuse me, but what is happening? I'm just a little bit confused about the shade Ghost. What is that? Is that a translucent shade? Or did they just forget to put something in there? No, that can't be right. There is a sticker on that shade Ghost. Let me actually remove that sticker. I'm under the impression that this might be like a topper, like a gloss. I've never tried out any of these like eye glosses that you put over your lids and it's gonna give you a glossy finish. But this color story is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I did not expect the entire purple sort of theme going on at the top. And then I also did not expect the fact that we would have some gray in there. But before I'm going to be playing around with these products, I'm going to go off and take a bunch of pictures, film all of the close-ups that you already saw, and then I'm back and we're going to be playing around with these beautiful products. Honestly, I'm really, really excited. All right, you guys, I am back. I basically just shot the inserts of the close-ups that you just saw previously. The only thing that I did not do just yet was to swatch the palette. So I still have yet to swatch that, but I'm going to be doing that after the video. So I also sort of removed most of my powder blush. I just reapplied some foundation and I did not set the foundation because we have a cream blush. I mean, I am wearing a pretty matte foundation anyway today, so I don't think it's going to be an issue at all. But what we're going to be doing, the plan is basically to first start off with the eyeshadow palette, then move on to the blush and then to the lipstick. But yeah, so many options. I think this color story is very well curated and it definitely does go from very light to very deep, which I always appreciate. I think this is really, really pretty and I can't wait to actually create one look today. And of course, I'm going to be posting more looks once this palette has gotten released. I'm going to be posting some looks over on my YouTube Shorts tab. So you guys know me. I do love my grays and there is a gray in here. So I think I'm going to be doing a combination with the gray, maybe also with this beautiful sort of like periwinkle here that is called Creepy. That could be so much fun. And then let's see where the road is taking me. I mean, I have nothing planned. I'm gonna start off with this mid-tone gray right here, the shade Crypt. And I'm gonna be placing that basically just in my crease and just blend it out a little bit. So usually these palettes have a little bit of kickback, but these mattes are super silky. Once they go on, they are not over the top pigmented straight away. They will give you a good amount of pigment, but it's really, really blendable. And you can definitely build this formula up. And I'm actually a fan of this formula. I will say the shade Crypt has a little bit of kickback here, but I'm just gonna tap off the excess. Let's see what this is gonna be like. Let's hope it's not turning blue, because sometimes grays do turn blue on me. As a matter of fact, some grays do have blue pigment in there. And sometimes it's just due to my undertones, but I feel like this one is gonna be like a real gray. Oh. Is it gonna turn blue? Please. Please don't do that. Alright, so the gray is applied. I don't think this looks too blue. It pulls just a little bit blue on me. That's just what some grays do, but it's not over the top. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna go into this periwinkle shade Creepy. I don't know if it's like a true periwinkle. It looks like almost like a lilac bordering on a periwinkle shade. I'm gonna use this shade and use it more towards the inner portion of my eye, just like towards the inner corners. I feel like this is a little bit more of a mid-tone shade. Okay, so far so good. I am going to brighten this one up though, because I don't like it if my inner corner is too deep. Really don't. So I'm just gonna go into the shade Bone, this creamy white shade. The shade Bone really brightened everything up to my liking. So next step, I'm gonna be blending the gray shade out just a little bit. I'm gonna go onto a fluffier brush. So I'm gonna use the shade Paranormal, this like muted down cool toned lilac right here. And I'm just gonna run that towards the upper part of the gray shade, just to diffuse the gray a little bit and blend it out slightly more. I mean, it's already blended, but just want it to be a little bit smoother. All right, and let's move on to a little bit of a deeper shade in here. The shade Ominous. It's almost like a very deep eggplant shade. Ooh, that is so pretty, you guys. I really like where this is going. It looks pretty cool toned. I will say, thus far, this formula is like the typical Cosmic Brushes formula. You know, you can blend these out with ease and you can slowly build them up, you know. The mattes just always look so diffused once they are blended out. I really like it. So next step, we're gonna be moving down my lower lash line, and I have to make a decision now on what type of like eyeliner I want to put into my waterline. I think I'm going to be going in with the shade Charmer. This is a ColourPop gel eyeliner. I really like this shade. It's really hard to find like this sort of like plummy toned purple shade. I almost decided to pull this one out. This is the Pacifica one, the lilac one. This could also work, but I feel like I want to do something different for my lower lash line. So I'm just going to be applying this and I'll be right back. Okay, so for the lower lash line, I'm going to go in with the shade Cursed. This one. This is like a proper sort of purple, like a violet purple. So I'm going to use that one. The shade Cursed is literally the exact same shade as my eyeliner that I put in my waterline. So now I'm gonna go in with the shade Ominous again, this deeper sort of like eggplant shade. I mean, this almost looked black when I put it on top of the gray, but it is definitely a very, very dark purple sort of like type of shade, and I really do like these. So I'm just gonna, you know, deepen up the outer part of my lower lash line with this shade. Okay, so next thing that I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna take a little bit of Paranormal, the shade right here, this muted, almost like lavender shade. I'm gonna take that and I'm just gonna bring it into the inner part of my lower lash line. But all right, my next step is going to be to clean up my outer corners a little bit with some concealer. And then I'm going to be also applying a little bit of the glitter glue by NYX, just a little bit, not too much. And then I'll be right back and we're going to be applying some of these beautiful shimmer shades. My edges are cleaned up and I've applied a little bit of glitter glue. But honestly, so many shimmer variations could work with this type of like matte look. This would work, this would work, this one and this one. So I've got some choices here. So I'm gonna go into the shade Haunted and I'm gonna go into Eerie in my inner corner. Ooh, that is so pretty. But I think I want to still go in with Eerie, but just in my inner corner. I'm gonna use a different brush. I'm gonna try to put this into my inner corner. I'm going to be using the shade Shiver though, because that looked beautiful. I'm going to be putting that also into my inner corner and maybe also bring this down a little bit to my lower lash line. All right, I'm also pulling in a highlighter by What's Up Beauty. I just love this one. It's the Serengeti highlighter in the shade Wild Acacia. I'm just using this, I'm just mixing this a little bit, and I'm just taking it right here on my brow bone just to highlight this a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna let you know my thoughts towards the end of the video, but I just want to quickly move on. I'm gonna be applying a mascara and then we can basically just move on to the blushes, okay? So I'm gonna be doing that and I'll be right back. All right, so my mascara is applied. I'm gonna be coming back to tell you a little bit more about this eyeshadow palette towards the end of the video. I mean, I like how the look came out. I always love a beautiful sort of purple lilac type of look. You guys know it's one of my favorite eyeshadow colors in the world. I really like how the gray, worked with these tones. I really like it. And also, while I was using this palette, I thought to myself, oh, actually, this color story reminds me of some other palettes. So I'm going to be doing a comparison, okay? I'm going to show you some of the other palettes that I have in my collection that are a little bit similar to this. But all right, so let's actually move on to the blush. I mean, I did kind of like remove my blush to a certain extent, and now we have 3 shades to choose from. And also another thing is they forgot to put the blush names onto the packaging here. It is on the lipsticks, but they forgot to put it onto the blushes. It would be lovely if you could have just the names on the blush, but oh, this would work so, so well, wouldn't it? Let me actually swatch this a little bit to see what this formula is like. Ooh, that looks very different in the pan than on my finger. Maybe I'm gonna try this another day. I don't think I'm gonna wear this today. Okay, this is the shade Dazed. I think I'm gonna go in with this. Okay, I'm gonna try these other 2 shades at some point to the best of my ability. I don't know anything about this formula. I'm just gonna take it a little bit on my Ilia Complexion brush and I'm gonna tap it off. Oh, this is actually a stunning color. Ooh, it's like this beautiful sort of movie shade. Okay, they're not as pigmented as I thought they would be, but they do have a decent amount of pigment for it to be a cream blush. That is stunning. Okay, this shade, beautiful. Very, very pretty. I absolutely adore these cream blushes because they also don't look like they are too shiny. They don't feel greasy. They look almost like diffused. But wow, this shade looks exactly like the shade that I wanted for today. So far, so good. This looks amazing. It's actually more of like a cool tone, sort of like movie shade. It looks a little bit more reddish in the pan, but on my skin, it's not looking like that at all. It does not look warm. It's really looking like cool tone movie almost. Okay, you guys, you know what? I'm gonna try my best and use this as soon as possible and show you how this is actually looking on the skin. Again, I did not set my face, so I'm gonna go just with a little bit of powder. Let's see how they're gonna be working if I just powder them down a little bit, you know, just to set them slightly. Beautiful. Okay. Well, they are not turning patchy on me. None of that. Wow, this is a beautiful cream blush. And just keep in mind, my base today was compromised because I already wore a powder blush, you know, on top of foundation and setting powder. And then I put foundation on top of that. So for it to look that smooth on top of all of these products, I mean, incredible. I love it. I love this cream blush, and I rarely love a cream blush, but this formula is beautiful. So before we are moving on to the lipsticks, I am just going to be applying a little bit of this highlighter on top of my nose and on my Cupid's bow. I love this highlighter. This highlighter, stunning. I pulled this out again the other day and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful highlighter. Like, this is just incredible. So let's move on to the velvet lipsticks. I feel like for the look that I went for today, I feel like it's pretty cool toned. Now, I think the shade Nancy, it's gonna be too dark. This is just not my thing. As I said in the beginning, the shade Salem, this might be too warm toned. Yeah, that's gonna clash, right? That's not gonna look good with this type of eye look. So the only option I am left with is, honestly, this might be my favorite shade anyway. So I'm really excited to try this one out. This is the shade Clarice. Beautiful, sort of like, yeah, nude shade. It's almost like, let me actually do a swatch of this shade. Oh my gosh, this almost pulls a little bit more cool toned. We shall see what's gonna happen. Okay, so I'm gonna be going in with a lip liner. I'm gonna go in with this Lisa Eldridge lip pencil. This is the shade ON. This lip liner is just working with so many different like nude lipsticks. I love this lip liner. I love the shade. What a beautiful sort of like beigey brown shade. Yeah, let's try this shade out. I can't wait. Oh, this is pigmented and this is light. Holy moles. These don't feel like a matte lipstick. These really feel like creamy and moisturizing. They don't feel like a velvet sort of matte lipstick. I'm a little bit confused. Okay, the finish is, it's even like a little bit shiny. It's not that matte. This color is very light. It's a little bit sliding around. I don't know if I love this formula 100%. I've got to say, maybe I also just applied too much because I also tried to build the color up thinking it would just deepen up a little bit, but sometimes this is just a trick. Look at it now. Now it looks matte. Now it also feels velvety. I had the exact same issue with one of the Westman Atelier lipsticks that is also marketed as a matte lipstick. And when I apply it, every time it's just this shiny film. Now I kind of like it. Okay, I like it a lot better. Now I feel like I need to adjust the lip liner though a little bit. I like it. I really like it. Now I don't know what it is. I think it was just my initial reaction seeing me in such a light shade, you know. It's a little bit lighter than most of the nude lipsticks that I've got, but honestly, with the lip liner, this is a perfect combination. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna zoom you out a little bit. I'm going to show you some of the eyeshadow palettes that I was thinking about constantly in my head when I was using the Sinister palette. And I'm just going to let you know what my first impressions of these products are. Just keep in mind, this is not like a full-fledged review. I mean, I just did an unboxing and a first impression. This is not my final like verdict on the products just yet. I need to play with them a little bit more. You know, this really does remind me of a couple of these like anti-Valentine's Day releases. And I'm just going to show you this in a second. Let's compare this palette real quick to the Chucky palette by Glamlight. It's very different though. I mean, just the idea is a little bit similar. I don't like this palette in particular. You know, this is just too deep, and most of these shimmers do have a black base, and I don't like shimmers that have a black base. I mean, you know by now that I'm not a big fan of this palette, but I just thought the idea of this palette has a little bit of a similar color story, okay? You can't deny that. And then another palette it reminded me of immediately was Beauty Bay Reckless Romance. I mean, Beauty Bay has one huge difference though, and I feel like with the Beauty Bay palette here, we have a little bit of gold. There is not that much red in here. There's just one sort of like muted down, deeper red shade in this, where here we definitely do have a little bit more red. This one in general, it's a little bit heavier on the grays, and it's also heavier on these like muted down pinky shades. Like this is a little bit more muted. Another palette that this reminds me of is another anti-Valentine's Day palette. So this one is actually the Skulls and Roses palette by Kmart Cosmetics. Both brands from the UK, the Beauty Bay palette as well. This is very different though. But it just gives me this like a little bit of a similarity, you know, when you're looking at this. I feel like this one has like more of these like neutral browns in here. When you look at the shimmers with this one has a lot of pinks, but this is leaning more purple, right? This has a little bit of purple in here, but it does not have a periwinkle. It does not have like a lilac shade in here. There is none of that, you know. And then another palette that this reminded me of is the palette that I've not used yet. This is Untouched. I did not get around to trying this one out yet, but I feel like this would be worth sort of looking at side by side. So this is the new Vamp eyeshadow palette by Bella Beauty Bar. Yes, it finally arrived. And the only difference really is that this one has the blue. I feel like the Cosmic Brushes one, it definitely has a lot more like light shades than this one. This one leans a little bit more mid-tone to deep. We have definitely seen some of these color stories already, but maybe just with different types of formulas, with different nuances. And again, I really have to play around with the Cosmic Brushes one a little bit more in order to give you my final verdict on this palette. I'm definitely not mad that I got this. I will definitely create more looks with this and then include it into a ranking and let you know my final thoughts on it in a ranking. Thus far, I absolutely love these cream blushes. I'm not the biggest fan of a cream blush, but just look at how this looks on my skin. This almost looks like a powder blush. It's so beautiful. This formula is not over the top oily or greasy. It just has this perfect sort of pigment to it, this perfect blend. It just looks so natural, yet pigmented enough. My skin is not eating this up. This is maybe my favorite product out of this entire box. And I did not think that. When I saw cream blush, I was like, oh, I was not prepared for that. The lipsticks, I will say two of the shades I really, really adore. The other one is just a little bit too dark for me. And the shade Claris that I'm wearing right now, I like it. I really love it. I love a good nude. It was a little bit weird when I put it on, but then when I blotted it off, I don't know. I just love this shade. I really do like it. I really love it. So I am really impressed with these lipsticks and I'm impressed with the cream blushes and the eyeshadow palette. I have to try it out a little bit more. Please do let me know. Are you interested in this collection? Have you maybe like ordered this box yourself? Let me know if you've tried out any of these products. I would absolutely love hearing from you down in my comment section. And if you liked the video, if you found it helpful, please don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel for more content, and also don't forget to ring the bell in order to stay notified about my upcoming videos. So until next time, please do take care. Thank you so much for watching